Welcome back to our incredible journey with the Castellamare del Golfo project in Sicily, where we transform a dilapidated property into what will be a profitable dual-unit rental. I'm Carl Pierre, and I'm here to not only share an exciting update on this venture, but also give you insight into the world of cheap Italian homes and their potential. If you've been following our journey and dreaming of investing in Italy, today's update will fuel your enthusiasm and show you how to live globally and afford it. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and stay tuned as we delve into the details of this fascinating project. Our adventure started with the intriguing concept of €1 homes in Italy, which led us to eventually purchasing in Castellamare del Golfo. Today, I'll break down the numbers from the acquisition cost to the financial planning needed to bring our vision to life. This project was about seeing potential where others saw disrepair. For those of you who aren't familiar with my journey, I actually started looking at properties in Sicily because I saw an article that they're selling homes in Italy for $1. So I went out to the town of Musamelli. I bought a few properties, starting with one for $5,000, then I got another for $12,000, and I recently bought one for €1 that I'm combining with my other property. But in spending more time in Sicily, I started to think, where else can I buy and actually invest? So I started visiting the tourist towns, and one of the tourist towns that caught my interest is Castellamare del Golfo, mainly because it's about 30 minutes west of Palermo, which is the capital city of Sicily, and because it's a beautiful port town. You can rent boats, good nightlife, good dining, and I thought, wow, this is a place that I really enjoy, and I know other people will enjoy it as well. And I got my wheels spinning as to how can I make an investment there, be able to own property in a town that I really like, but also monetize it as a short-term rental. So after visiting a few times, I set out to start making connections in the town. And actually, it was one of my Airbnb hosts who helped me find the property that we're talking about today. A unique challenge about investing in properties in Italy is they don't have an MLS system like we do in the United States, where all brokers and agents are listing properties in one centralized place. So you have to kind of have boots on the ground and know people to really find the best opportunities that exist. So as promised, let's talk numbers. The initial purchase price was €68,000, and then we had additional closing costs and legal fees adding €4,300 to the acquisition price. Renovation cost and getting the house staged as a short-term rental exceeded the initial budget of €60,000 as we went further than expected with setting up the home for maximum appeal and profitability. We added a second terrace, additional water supply, and didn't cut any corners on renovations. I also hired an awesome architect and project manager, which added to the cost, but also assisted us with navigating local challenges with suppliers and, of course, adhering to building code. All in, the project is costing more than budgeted at nearly €170,000. Sounds like a disaster, doesn't it? But there is some good news here. When doing a comparative analysis of renovating homes in this pocket of Castellamare del Golfo, the after repair value is going to be between €200,000 and €250,000. Considering it now has 2 units that can be flexed into a single family home and makes it more marketable, gives me more assurance that we could command closer to €250,000 when it's time to exit this property in 5 years. Now, renovating a property abroad comes with its own set of challenges and its own learning curve. Our project involved extensive planning, assembling the right team on the ground in Sicily, and adapting to unexpected twists along the way. In Sicily, I would say the thing that's probably the greatest challenge is time. Time is always a problem. I know that in the United States, we have this thing called island time where everything kind of moves slower in the Caribbean. Island time applies to all of Italy in actuality, and even more so in Sicily, where it's warmer and the pace of life is slower. When I set out to start this project, I tried to factor for the Sicilian factor by starting renovations in October. But the contractor delayed the start of the project because he felt, as they always think that they're going to get it done in record time. And by starting a little bit later, that actually pushed us out further. Now, this is no knock to my contractor. I love him. I love working with him. He's a friend of mine. But this is just the way that things work in Italy. So when you're working on projects in Italy, just add to the time. Even if you add 50% to the time, you'll be surprised that it might even exceed that. Another problem that we encountered was that our original plan was to use like a kind of earth tone pink or coral color to accentuate this property. Now, there are other properties in the community that have this color, and I plan on going with that color because it's a color that I like and I thought would help the property stand out from the others in the area. The issue is that there's a local ordinance that says that the properties need to be a shade of tan. And as we were doing renovations, a neighbor came over and said, you know that this property has to adhere to the local code. And that kind of spooked me a bit. And the reason for that is that when you have that nosy neighbor that's starting to cite that there are local laws that you need to adhere by, they either work for the town or they're going to be the local snitch that report to you the minute you start painting it outside of that color. That's just the way that it is. So we decided to move away from the coral color scheme and went with a tan and olive green color, tying in the local colors and the local plant life there to add to that appeal. And we're also decorating with other olive plants, and it's going to come together and has come together quite nicely. Another funny story, which is not so funny for me or the supplier, but the supplier's truck got stolen, the door supplier. So our interior doors got delayed because they didn't have a delivery truck. These sort of things happen. So you can't expect a renovation in another country where you don't speak the language that's thousands of miles away to go smoothly. The thing that you can do is just work with a competent team that understands the nuances of the local culture and can help adapt and see things through. Now, again, we're over our initial budget. We're delayed. None of these things are positive outcomes, but it's turning out to be a really exciting project that's going to earn us some good money. The transformation not only restored the building's charm, but also integrated modern amenities inside, making it ideal for the lucrative short-term rental market in this town. The end goal of this project is profitability through platforms like Airbnb. By turning this property into a high-demand rental, we capitalize on Sicily's growing tourism and the allure of its beautiful coastline. Additionally, this project is just the beginning. We plan to replicate this model with more properties offering more investment opportunities for you. To give you the sense of the amount of money that can be made on a deal like this if you were to do it yourself, as a hosted rental, we are projecting that the property will generate approximately $30,000 a year when renting out both units. According to AirDNA, a research tool to estimate the performance of this property, it should have an occupancy rate of around 57%. Tendency peaks in the summer since it is more of a summer holiday town than an all year round destination. The home could rent from $120 to $220 a day, depending on how we have it configured. The partners on this deal also benefit from the projected cash flow, depreciation on the property through the renovations that we did, and being able to use a property when they visit Sicily themselves. If you're excited by the prospect of owning a piece of Italian history, earning from it, and having the support of my team, join us in transforming hidden gems into profitable estates. Book a call with me at entplife.com to discuss how you can invest alongside us in the next project that we do. Don't miss the chance to add unique properties to your portfolio and experience the beauty of Italy firsthand. Let's make your dreams of investing in Italy a reality.